Tyres have to be the most hotly debated topic in motorcycling. Thankfully, Pirelli have made it really easy. If you're going to ride your adventure bike hard off-road, buy these tyres. G'day everyone, my name is Curtis and welcome to an On The Back Wheel video. Today I'm reviewing the Pirelli Scorpion Rally tyres. If you haven't, make sure you click that subscribe button and join the On The Back Wheel community. Alright, let's check out these tyres. So today is going to be broken up into a few sections. Firstly, I'm going to talk about what the Pirelli Scorpion Rally tyres are and what they're designed for. Then we're going to talk about how they perform, what mileage I've gotten from them, and if you should buy a set. Now, there's a bit of confusion with the Pirelli Scorpion Rally, so we will clarify that first. And a bit of it is Pirelli's doing themselves. Now, there is two types of Pirelli Scorpion Rallies. We have the Rally Race tyre, which I have in the front, and the Adventure Touring tyre, which I have in the back. And they're both called Pirelli Scorpion Rallies. Now, they also have the Pirelli Scorpion Rally STR, which is very popular on adventure bikes, and it's a bit more of a road-focused version. Now, on the front, you're able to get the 90-90-21 tube type tyre, which is basically a desert legal race knobby. And that's what I've got on the front. And you're also able to get an Adventure Touring 20-inch front, which is tubeless, and 17-inch varieties as well. Now, on the rear, I have the 150-70-17, and that's in the Adventure Touring style, which is much more road focused than the Rally Race front. But you're also able to get a Rally Race on the rear in the 140-80-18, and that's a tube type tyre. There's also other sizes in the 17-inch. So what type of riding have I been doing with the Pirelli Scorpion Rallies? Well, I installed them onto my Suzuki V-Strom 800D just after I got it, and I use this bike for commuting to and from work, which is just riding on bitumen. It's all on the pavement, and I also use it for adventure riding. Now, adventure riding for me consists of cruisy rides down the highway, through the twisties, on gravel and dirt roads, but it also consists of hard adventure riding, which is more enduro style of riding, where I'm riding through rocks, boulders, shale, mud, and I've even done some beach work. So let's talk about the front tyre and how it performs. This is the best off-road tyre you can get for adventure bikes. Yes, it is that good. It is absolutely amazing. In all types of off-road conditions, it performs great. Mud, sand, rocks, you name it, this thing hooks up. You won't believe how hard you can push this front tyre. It is so good. Now, on the street, it's actually pretty solid. Yes, I'm not dragging a knee, and I do slow down when it gets wet, but I have had no issues with the front tyre on the street. It is just an amazing performing off-road tyre that is pretty solid on the road. The rear tyre, I'm not as hot on. Why? Well, the mud performance is quite poor. The first ride I did had a fair bit of mud, and it was quite sloppy and slippery. And I didn't like how this slid in and out of corners. It was quite loose, to be honest. And the next day of that ride was kind of rocky, and then it moved to some beach work, and I didn't mind it at all. Since then, I've done a huge variety of riding, and this thing has taken me to some places I never thought it would, and it hooks up pretty well. On the street, it's a really good tyre. It's a very good tyre on the street in all conditions. Mileage wise, I'm now at about 4,800 kilometers, and they're just about cooked. I think I'm gonna get one more ride out of them, then I'm gonna change them in the new year. The front tyre has become very scalloped, and I think I'm just doing too much road riding for it. The wear has become quite uneven on the knobs, and as a result, it's now quite loud on the road and also on your harder gravel sections. When I first got it, it was actually quite quiet, but nowadays, yeah, you can definitely hear it. It's got quite a loud whine to it. It's also become unevenly balanced because of how it's worn on the knobs. It's uneven wearing on the knobs, so it's quite as well on the street. Not an ideal trait, to be honest. The rear has actually worn at a very similar rate to the front, and I didn't expect that to happen because the rear tyre, even from new, has a very shallow tread depth, whereas the front looks like a full-on knobby, but they've worn at a very similar rate. I'm going to change them at the same time. The rear, the center is pretty well done. It's still hooking up well on the street. Off-road, we'll see how it goes on my next ride, but I'm going to change it after that. There's still plenty of lugs on the side, but the middle, yeah, it's cactus. So we've talked about how they perform, what kind of mileage I get. Would I buy another set? Look, I'm probably going to go to something slightly less aggressive on the front, just because of the amount of road riding I'm doing and because the V-Strom is a little bit heavy. If I was doing just adventure riding, this is the tyre I would have on all the time, but I'm commuting on the bike as well. The rear, yeah, I'm not sure about that, and I will probably change it to something else just because the competition is so strong. We've got the Motos Tractionator Adventure and the Rail Z out there. The Adventure is a very similar tyre to this, but it's got much more tread depth and lasts longer, whereas the Rail Z has more tread depth, lasts longer, and performs better off-road. So I'll be looking at something like that. Now, if you've got a KTM 690, Husqvarna 701, Touareg 660, Tenere 700, KTM 890, that kind of class bike, that's your 200 odd kilos or lighter, and you ride hard off-road, or you just do mainly dirt adventure trips, put that front on with a Rail Z rear, you're done. That is the best combination in the adventure bike world at the moment if you're riding off-road. So in summary, I would 100% recommend the Rally Race front. It is a brilliant adventure bike tyre and off-road tyre. You could even put that on a dual sport and I think it would perform fine. It has quite stiff sidewalls and it's tough. So you'd be very unlucky to get a puncture with these. The rear, I'd probably steer more towards the Motos Tractionated Adventure or Rail Z. If you're running a set of Scorpion Rallies or have run a set of Scorpion Rallies, I'd love to hear your thoughts on them. Also, another question, if you're not running them, what tyres are you? Let me know in the comments down below. All right, everyone, if you haven't, make sure you click that subscribe button, check out my other content, and keep it on the back wheel. Catches.